Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
What is up, everybody? There's no better way to kick off a day like today with an intro video like that. It's the gift that keeps on giving. We made that for our draft show way back in December, still relevant in March. Mr. Somich, we're doing something new today, man. We're going to hype the fans up here a little bit before the action gets going. How you doing, man?
I'm good, dude. This is a huge day. It's a massive day. We got big races all over the country. We've got multiple carryover pools. Gulfstream came out and announced we got the Pick 6 carryover mandatory there tomorrow, too. So it just keeps on rolling, man. It's a huge, huge day of racing. So we had to come in here and get excited about it.
Dude, I know. We always text back and forth about this time, and we're like, man, I wish one track was running right now. I'm ready to go right now. We're going to try to fill that void for, 10, 15, 20 minutes here. Kind of get you primed for the day. A little something new we're trying. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Let's get right into it, man. Let's get right into it. Will we see the Kentucky Derby winner today? Hi there. We've got another special guest as well.
I'm really excited about the races.
There she is. Hey. All right, so will we see the Kentucky Derby winner today? We've got 3 preps. What do you think?
I'm going to go with yes. And I think we've got 3 shots at seeing it, and I think it's all in the same race.
Really? So San Felipe, I'm guessing.
Yeah, no, the Gotham. Of course, the San Felipe. No, I think that obviously Life is Good, who's currently your favorite, would be my number 1 ranked horse, just like you have it on the top 20 right now. So I think that horse has a legit shot at getting the job done in the Derby. I am really interested in, and you're going to love this, the Great One. Well, you've been on forever. Yeah. I think the Great One is one of those that you have to consider right now as one of the top horses to go to. And I love the progression. The fact that we saw Spielberg go out to Oaklawn and run a big effort there, I thought that made a big difference for me. So, it's going to be interesting to see him, the Great One, come back and see what he does. And then I think you got to respect Dream Shake. I mean, that race is starting to come back good. Yesterday you had, if someone mentioned, the 2nd place horse lost. Yeah, it lost to the 4th place horse in that race, though. So you have a next out winner and a next out second who looked very good in doing it. So all of a sudden, it's like maybe that Dream Shake race, which is really the Bezos race, is a good race. I'm interested to see what Dream Shake does today, too.
Yeah, we've got another horse coming back. I think he's in the 11th today, right? It was from that race. So, yeah, it could literally be a monster key race for the Kentucky Derby. I'm with you on the 3. I'm with you.
Okay, here goes.
Bye. People seem to be either all in on the Great One or not. So we'll kind of see what happens there. But yeah, I'm with you. Listen, though, I still think Essential Quality is the one. It's the one to be at this point. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, this is going to be a fun weekend. Just real quick, Gotham Tampa Bay Derby. Let's wrap them all into one. Is there one horse that you're like, yeah, maybe this horse can jump on the trail and have an impact?
I would say Candyman Rocket is the one that I would say has a shot. We talked about this in the Magic Mike show. The horse has tactical speed, which is something I'm always looking for horses that I think have a shot in the Derby. And so if Candyman Rocket can take a big step forward today, I think that eventually that horse could get really serious. I don't love Tampa horses, and it's going to be interesting because it's starting to rain right now in Tampa.
Yeah.
So a lot of those grass races are going to go off the turf. You might see a muddy track, which I actually think should help Candyman Rocket. But I think he is the one in those 2 races that I'm interested in moving forward. I'm big time against the Aqueduct circuit in general on the Derby Trail. So for me, I generally fade that race or the races that come out of there. But I think that Candyman Rocket could be something, depending on what he does next.
Yeah. I noticed you did Santa Anita for Sama Bombs. Obviously, that's the biggest card today. But Oaklawn as well. Was that more of just worried about the weather down there in South Florida?
Yeah, I looked at the weather last night. I don't like doing the off the turf, and the Oaklawn purses have been great. They've been getting big time pools, and I thought the card was interesting today. I look at Oaklawn every day. I don't often play Oaklawn, but when I like a card, that's when I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take a swing and I'm gonna play it. So I threw the bombs up for Oaklawn, threw them up for Santa Anita, obviously, which is a monster card. We're gonna talk quite a bit about it on this hype show. But yeah, those are the 2 tracks that I think have the best cards today to play. I've gotten really frustrated with Gulfstream. I'm sure you saw it in the tweets and everything. So I've taken the Sama Bombs away from Gulfstream just because Irad literally should have been taken down 3 times in the last week. And it's hard enough to like pick winners, let alone when you have to include Irad in every race. And when you're trying to fade him to get better prices too, it makes it even tougher. So I'm voting with my betting dollar, and I'm moving away from Gulfstream unless they force me to play it, which is like, I'm going to end up forcing it. But I have to play Gulfstream tomorrow. There's going to be a $5 million pick six pool. I got no choice, right? But like, I'm gonna try and stay away from there on a lot of days now because I like the racing out of Santa Anita. Like we're able to get to an 8-1 winner yesterday, a 20-1 winner yesterday. I think there's logical long shots that are hittable. So we'll keep moving around the country and spring around. But Gulfstream Park, man, been super frustrating in that sense.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree with you. I like your stance on that. But you're right. They kind of got you hooked because tomorrow you got a $5 million pool you're going to have to take a shot at. So you got to take a shot at it.
I like Irad Incidental Contact Ortiz. That's what we're going with as the nickname now.
Yes, here you go. Reese Bobby says, piss on Irad. We agree. Thanks for joining us, Reese. All right. What sequence? Here we go. I'll pull this up. What sequence are you most excited for today? You've kind of went into Oaklawn and Santa Anita. I'm guessing it's going to be something from there, but which one are you most excited for today?
I like the late pick 5 at Oaklawn, but I am most excited for the pick 6 at Santa Anita. We got mandatory payout on a 20-cent bet, which is the days that I get involved in these rainbow pick sixes because the takeout is brutal on the non-mandatory days. But today's mandatory. And if you look at this pick 6, man, it starts in race 6 with the San Felipe, and it's just banger after banger after banger. You got the Kilroy Mile, you've got the Grade 1 Big Cap, and then it closes, and you kind of tease this race a little bit, with a really good maiden special weight race, which is 12 deep. It's not an easy sequence to hit, but you can decide where you want to take stands. I think there are 3 singleable horses if you believe in any of those horses. Actually, 4 in my mind. There's probably 4 singleable horses throughout the 6 races. I'm not sure which one I'm going to single yet. I think 3 of them are kind of logical. Obviously, Life is Good is going to be singled all over the place. Maxfield's going to be singled all over the place. I probably will not single either of those horses. I think that if you want to really get a big ticket, you got to try and get around those 2. So I'll probably single somewhere else. But man, this is 6 good competitive races with quality horses and big fields on a mandatory day. And you're going to get great weather. Like you can't ask for any more than that.
I totally agree. And I think Santa Anita has been one of the more playable tracks the last month anyway. I really think they've done a hell of a job. Santa Anita has greatly improved this year over last year and certainly over 2 years ago. They deserve a pat on the back. In my opinion, this pick 6 sequence ranks right up there with maybe Pegasus Day, their Rainbow 6 or pick 5 even, of just being fantastic. There's so many logical horses you could use at prices, and that's when that's a handicapper's dream. When you see this 10-1 and you go, he ain't that much worse than this 8-5 or she. So yeah, I'm totally with you. I think that's going to be fantastic. Now, so we both agree. Now this is the big question in my mind. Okay, Maxfield or bust. Okay, because he won't be the shortest price of the sequence because of Life is Good.
Agree.
But my theory is people will probably kind of spread in that race because they want to keep playing. A lot of people will kind of go a little deeper in those early races. I think this is the one where it's critical that we try to beat him. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Maxfield will be the most singled horse in the pick 6 and obviously the pick 5 too, because the pick 5 doesn't include Life is Good.
Absolutely.
So I think that you have and the other thing is, look, I think Maxfield's a great horse, right? Like I'm not going to knock the horse at all, but he's really not that proven. And that's the biggest issue that I have with him. Now we're shipping across the country, and I would assume that he's ready to go, but he's never run over Santa Anita's racetrack, which is a unique racetrack in and itself. And there's a couple horses in there that have comparable numbers to him. So he's going to go off at 2-5 or 3-5, and he's going to need to take a step forward if anyone else takes a step forward. That's a tough spot. That's a tough 3-5 to swallow. Like I get Life is Good, right? I get that at 3-5, 2-5, right? Because the horse has been the best, is working the best, and it's beaten some of these other horses. Maxfield, there's a lot more questions. So I think you have to play. I think you have to defensively use Maxfield, but man, I think you got to take a swing against him.
Yeah, I'm with you here. Here's the deal, and you said it on the Magic Mic, and I'll kind of steal your thunder. Who has he beat? He just hasn't beat anybody. Is that his fault? No, but it's also a fact. He's conquered Sonneman. Great.
Twice.
Who hasn't?
Yay.
Yeah, exactly. Now you look at some of the contenders in here and they go, well, hell, who have these horses beat? Well, not much, but they're bigger prices and they're going to help that ticket. I want to ask you about Idol, okay? Because Idol is a horse in the last couple of Southern California races. We all have openly discussed this horse has a shot, right? Now we get Gabe Saez off. We get Joel Rosario, who seems to be winning with almost anything. Is Idol the key for you, or is it maybe another horse?
So I didn't use Idol on the Magic Mike ticket that I gave out originally. I have Idol in the deep ticket section on the Salma Bombs. And so I'm kind of torn on what to do with this horse. And to be honest, when I capped it, I didn't get that deep into Idol. When then Magic talked about it on the show, I started coming around a little bit on this horse. I mean, one of the things that I don't like is it's been beaten by 3 of the horses in this race. And that last race against Tis a Magician and Express Train, I mean, he just didn't have it. He was not as good. And that is the biggest concern for me, is that you have a horse, Kiss Today Goodbye, who I think you can completely draw a line through the last because it went out to the Pegasus Invitational. It didn't have Lasix. There's a bunch of reasons why I'm like, okay, I'm going to give this horse a chance. Obviously, again, not running with Lasix today, but we're dropping 4 pounds. We're facing a much easier field. Like, there's reasons I can get behind Kiss Today Goodbye. Idol, I feel like, first off, I think the horse is going to take money. So that, to me, is an issue. I think you're going to end up seeing Idol go off as your second favorite in this spot.
Really?
It was even money last time out, and now you're getting Rosario. I think everyone's going to, you hear everyone talking about Idol in this jockey switch. I think you're going to take Idol's going to take money. And I thought Express Train looked great last time. I mean, that to me was the thing, is that Express Train ran down Tis a Magician when Tis a Magician kind of started to spurt away a little bit. I think you kind of have to use Express Train. Tis a Magician, who I don't think is the best horse in this race, is probably Lone Speed. And if he gets out, he could be dangerous. I mean, I don't really like Independence Hall, but I could see why people would use that horse. And so for me, it's it's getting close to an all button in this spot. I'm just not sure how I can get there with the rest of my ticket.
Let's touch on Independence Hall real quick, because to me, this is like the oddest horse, right? Well, you don't like, are you not going to play at all? I mean, because I had no idea what to do with Independence Hall here. It came out of that Pegasus race just came out of nowhere.
It did, and that's the biggest issue that I had. It's completely illogical to me that this horse, A, was able to get the distance, right, and B, run as well as it did. It's also the other logical speed. You're on the rail. I mean, you'd almost expect this horse is going to send and either sit right behind Tis a Magician or be in the lead. So that you're going to be in a great spot on that Santa Anita course. I don't foresee them going too fast. So, if Independence Hall is good enough, he could easily win this race. But man, that race, the Malibu was terrible, right? And we all thought this horse was a sprinter last year after what we saw at Aqueduct. So you go and you see this and you're like, do we really think that this horse is going to now get 1.25 miles, not 1.1 miles? We're stretching out an additional distance and be able to be competitive. And I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm going to end up with here, but I'm probably not going to use Independence Hall on my tickets. I'm probably going to try and find a way to not hit the all button here, take a couple stands, but not go all. And I think Independence Hall is one of those that I'm just going to leave off.
Yeah, he's just a real tough one to figure out. And the thing is, if you would have said on January 1st, Independent Hall is going to be in the big cap going 1.25 miles, you would have said I would need 50 to 1 to play this horse going 1.25 miles. And now I don't know, Mike, off that effort at the Pegasus, he might be the second choice. At worst, he's the third, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what kind of money Express Train takes and Idol takes, because those two, I like. One went off as an even money favorite against the other and is picking up Rosario. So for me, I feel like that's kind of how I think that's going to draw money to it. And so I think Independence Hall is going to take money because that 104 buyer is the largest buyer of anyone in the field. However, I'm not sure how. In a lot of these stakes races, these big stakes races, you get what I call false buyers. I think that 104 may be kind of a false buyer. I think the race was run so fast by Knicks Go that it inflates the buyers for the horses that run second and third behind him. And that 104 doesn't really make sense in the rest of the other races that you've seen from Independence Hall. So I kind of take that 104 with a grain of salt, but a lot of people are going to see that and bet it. Yeah,
no, I think you're right. And I think that happens a lot in those races when you have those runaway winners. It's like, did they really run that well? Maybe not. Let's take a question here, because this is your boy. How much do we like Storm the Court today? This is your guy, Somich. Come on.
I'm not using him today.
I don't blame you.
I can't do it, man. I looked through it. But I like the horse the last 2 times on turf because I thought we could wire the field. We're in a completely different ballpark now, right? We're not on turf. We're only going 6 or 7. We're not going a mile. We're not going 2 turns. So all these different reasons kind of move me away from Storm the Court. So today's probably the day he wins, right?
I No. Ricky keeps telling me, I'm telling you, the dirt. That's what he needs. I'm like, I don't know how you could say that, So.
I thought he needed the turf. Like, I was more excited about this horse going a mile on the turf because I thought eventually you get the right field, you can wire.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about this dirt thing, man.
I'm glad he's not in the kill row, though, because that would be impossible for him to win. But anyway, let's see. He says Maxfield will win. He is my single. All right. Yeah, single him up. We're going to try to beat you. That's
This is the thing. Like, he's the most likely horse to win. But I feel like the value is in beating him, which often means that you're just going to burn money. But when you don't, when you actually get past him, that's when you can get those big payouts, especially in these pick six pools.
Yep. Oh, I definitely agree with that. All right. We're both big hockey fans. So I didn't tell you we're going to do this. So I'm going to do this on the fly. I thought about this. The 3 stars of the day at the end of the day, after it's all over, who will be the 3 stars of the day?
Oh, okay. Social Paranoia. I think Social Paranoia is going to romp in the Kilroy, and it's 8-1 morning line. Like, that's one of my bigger opinions of the day. So I'm going to put Social Paranoia there. Mm-hmm. The second one's tough because it's the winner of the San Felipe is 100% going to be a star. And the question for me is, who do I say? Like, if I'm going like safe, you say Life is Good, but I'm going to say I think Dream Shake is going to be the second one that we're talking about, the second star of the day. And I think, honestly, I think the horses I think you're going to talk about are probably going to be Dream Shake and either Life is Good or Great One. I think you're going to get 2 stars out of that race. I think it's going to be a good race. And I think you're going to see good horses. I think legit, you could see 2 of the top 4 in the Derby in that race. Like, I'm that high on all 3 of these horses.
Yeah. Well, I like it. I like it a lot. I love the Social Paranoia. I'm with you on that. So hopefully that horse gets it done. And that's kind of what we were saying, right? There's a horse. It's 8-1. I don't think we're going to get 8-1. We might get 5-1, 4-1. That's still value.
I'd sign up for 4-1 right now. If you give me 4-1, I'd take it. I'd be like, okay, let's book it.
you act like he's going to win like a 1-9 shot. So
the horse is 3 for 3 at a mile. He's getting what he wants. I mean, that's the thing. And he's been a monster going a mile, and there's a ton of pace in there to set up for him too. So I think Social Paranoia is awfully dangerous.
Yeah, I think so too. I think Life is Good will be one of the stars. I'll take him. I think he's going to win. Now, mile and eighth, mile and a quarter, we'll see. But I think this distance is okay for him. I'm going to go highly motivated. I think he will be that one horse that kind of jumps up and says, hey, maybe he can progress off of this. I like it for him because most of these horses, they're going to the Gotham because it's a mile. For him, yeah, he's good at a one-turn mile, but it's kind of a springboard to something else. So, he should – I'm hearing maybe Bluegrass if he runs well today. So I think highly motivated is one. And, I kind of think Express Train might be the 3rd star to kind of jump up and have a say in things. So those are my 3. All right, we don't want to keep everybody forever because races are going to start soon. I wanted to do this. I wanted to do a Did You Know segment to end this. And I didn't tell you what this is.
Jeez, just all these curveballs, dude.
I know. But Somich, did you know that a horse that was drafted in our fantasy league last year is running for a $5,000 tag at Fauner Park today?
Oh, I did not know that. Please let it be the unnamed horse.
It is the unnamed horse.
Hip 406?
Yes, Hip 406. Silvermaker, now the name of the horse. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, the Real Dynasty last year in last year's fantasy league draft with the last pick claimed an unnamed horse that later went on to be named Silvermaker. He's in for a $5,000 tag today at Fauner Park. So don't forget about the 4th race, Fauner Park. Looks like a 2:54 Central Time. Watch Silvermaker. He's the 2 horse. I
got to ask, what number do we buy this horse and give it to Vinny? Like, are we talking like if it gets to 750 claimer, is that worth it? Like, at what point do we buy the horse and give it to Real Dynasty?
Well, I will say this. I personally know the trainer of him now, Anderson. So, and Jake Lisiak's riding this horse, by the way.
The Walker, man. Got to lean on him.
The Walker. So anyway, maybe they'll give it to us and we won't have to buy it.
You go. I mean, that may not be a terrible idea. Get Real Dynasty stables going. Get them a mascot.
I love it. They're going to have to run him at Finger Lakes, not Saratoga, though. They're going to try to run him. So, all right. Listen, it's a huge day. Everybody, the bombs are ready. All the premium products, the free picks, listen to the Magic Mike Show for their pick six thoughts. I'm sure you guys will be posting on Twitter after the scratches. Oh, one question you had. What time will tickets be posted for Santa Anita Samo Bombs?
Once the changes come out, I will put up tickets for everything. I got the picks right now. And just like my general way I do this, I usually go over the card during the week, kind of come up with the picks for the weekend of the tracks that I'm going to play after looking at everything. And then I'll put them in. And then once the scratches come out is when I'll actually construct the tickets. The reason is because I don't like, I had some people betting the tickets before the scratches and then get mad because the tickets changed. And obviously they're going to change if the scratches are up there. So my singles often change because speed changes. If a speed scratch is out, or if I have two horses I really like, and that means I'm singling later, but then one of those scratches, I can single that horse. And now I end up changing up the tickets enough that I wait till the changes come out. So I've been looking at both Oaklawn and Santa Anita on Equibase, kind of just waiting for those to pop up. I'm guessing, both tracks start right around 3 o'clock Eastern. I'm guessing we'll see changes in the next 30 minutes or so, which means that tickets will probably be up by 1 Eastern at the latest.
Yeah, I would say Oaklawn. Well, I know Oaklawn will be up in about 10, 15 minutes. The scratches will be up. And then I would say Santa Anita, I don't know religiously when they're out, but I would say you're probably right with that estimation. It won't be too much longer. And you said it best. We just want to eliminate confusion. We don't want two tickets coming out and then somebody coming back said, well, I lost, but, I bet it. And it's like, well, you didn't look for the update. So we try to eliminate that confusion. All right. Any final thoughts?
Sam Houston, you have a carryover in the pick 5 and pick 6 tonight as well. So last night it got a little funky. Apparently the Texas state rule is if there's no contest, you can't pay out the carryover pools, which I bet into it and didn't know that. So shame on me, but it's nice that we now know the rule. So yeah, there are carryovers there tonight too. So that should be fun. So we got some late night gambling as well.
Listen, you love Sam Houston so much. That was the screwiest thing that happened and you don't even care. You're back tonight.
Well, look, man, they 12% takeout, big fields, beatable favorites. I'll take that any day of the week. And honestly, at least I bitched about Gulfstream earlier. They haven't explained why IRAD hasn't come down in any of those 3 races. Sam Houston at least put up a post today and said, hey, this is the rule. This is what we followed. The rule sucks. We all agree the rule sucks, but it's the rule. So we kind of have to do it. Right. And so I get that, man. It's the same thing in Vegas about if you a lot of people bet the Masters, bet the NCAA tournament. And they didn't even know that they got refunds last year because there's a date by state law in Nevada. It has to be a date on future pools. Mm-hmm. And if the event happens before that date, then the future pools get paid out. If it happens after that date, it's a refund. A lot of people don't know that. It's just, you got to know the rules. And in this case, I've never heard of that rule. And obviously state by state, they have different rules. So it's just a little bit funky, but it's good to know now. And I appreciate that they actually came out and told us the rule so that we all understood what happened.
Yeah, and a lot of times, guys, you got to realize the state kind of governs the track. So it's not really the track making the rules. It's a state rule. And, for Texas, that'd be Lone Star, Sam Houston, or Tamara Park. They all go by the same rule.
Yep.
And the track officials can't do anything about it. Well, they can, but they have to appeal it and they have to change it. And it's got to be a statewide thing. All the 3 tracks have probably got to be involved in it. So one of those things, it happens, it sucks. But yeah, you're right. At least they did explain it. All right. Kevin Olson summed it up best. A whole day of gambling. Hell yeah. We're ready for it. Everything's set and ready. We will be back here 5 p.m. Eastern, a live show. We're going to cover all 3 of the Kentucky Derby prep races. And, pretty much all of that late sequence there at Santa Anita that we just talked about. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Come back at 5 o'clock. And good luck to everybody today.
Good luck, everyone. Have a good day.